Hi, this is a long answer question, a 5-mark question, which was asked in the Cbse 2015 examination. Okay, and the question is like this. The area of a rectangle gets reduced by 80 square units if its length is reduced by 5 units and the breadth is increased by 2 units. If we increase the length by 10 units and decrease the breadth by 5 units, then the area gets increased by 50 square units. You have to find the length and breadth of the rectangle. Okay, so since they've asked us to find the length and the breadth of the rectangle, let us assume that let length of the rectangle be equal to x and the breadth of the rectangle is equal to y. Now, if the length is x and the breadth is y, then what will be the area of rectangle? Area of the rectangle is equal to length times breadth, which will give me x times y. Okay. Now, let's go back to the question. Now, they've said that the area of the rectangle gets reduced by 80 square units. When does this happen? When the length is reduced by 5 units and the breadth is increased by 2 units. Okay, so let's use this information. Now, what is the new length that they've mentioned? The length is reduced by 5 units. So, the original length was x and now the new length would be x minus 5. What about the new breadth? They've mentioned that the breadth is increased by 2 units, which means the breadth now becomes y plus 2. So, what will be the new area of the rectangle now? It's going to be again length times breadth, right? So that is x minus 5 times y plus 2. But they've also mentioned that this new area now is the old area reduced by 80 square units. See, they've mentioned that the area of the rectangle gets reduced by 80 square units. So what was the old area? It was x times y. X times y minus 80. Okay, so let me just open up the brackets here. X times y plus 2 minus 5 times y plus 2 is equal to xy minus 80. So that's xy plus 2x minus 5y minus 10 is equal to xy minus 80. Let me cancel out the xy terms from either side of the equation and I would have 2x minus 5y minus 10 plus 80 is equal to 0 or 2x minus 5y plus 70 equal to 0. So that's my first linear equation. Now let's go back to the question again. Let's form the second linear equation. Okay, now what have they mentioned about the second linear equation? They have said that if we increase the length by 10 units and decrease the breadth by 5 units, then the area gets increased by 50 square units. Okay, so so they've mentioned that the new length now is the length increased by 10 units. So the old length was x gets increased by 10 units. And then the new breadth now becomes equal to the breadth gets decreased by 5 units. So that is y minus 5. So now what is the new area of the rectangle? It's going to be x plus 10 times y minus 5. And what is this area equal to? It's the old area increased by 50 square units. And the old area, like I told you before, it is xy. And that gets increased by 50 square units. Okay, so let me open up the brackets. So x times y minus 5 plus 10 times y minus 5 is equal to xy plus 50. So that's xy minus 5x plus 10y minus 50 is equal to xy plus 50. Okay, now the xy terms gets cancelled away on either side and my equation reduces to minus 5x plus 10y minus 50 equal to 0 because I brought the 50 from the other side to this side. Okay, so minus 5x plus 10y minus 100 equal to 0. Let me divide throughout with negative 5. So the equation reduces to x minus 2y plus 20 equal to 0 because I'm dividing throughout with negative 5. Okay, so that gives me my second linear equation. Now we just have to solve both the linear equations in my equation 1 and equation 2 together. The first equation that we got was 2x minus 5y plus 70 equal to 0. That's my first linear equation. And the second one is x minus 2y plus 20 equal to 0. Okay, let me use the elimination method to solve the equations. If I wanted to use the elimination method, I will multiply the second equation with 2 so that I can make the coefficients of x the same. Okay, so now the first equation stays as it is and the second equation gets multiplied by 2. So every coefficient gets multiplied by 2. So the equation becomes 2x minus 4y plus 40 equal to 0. Now let me subtract both equations. So all the signs would change here and I would get minus y plus 30 equal to 0, or the value of y becomes 30. Okay, now let me substituting y equal to 30 in equation 2. Okay, equation 2 was x minus 2y plus 20 equal to 0. X minus 2 times 30 plus 20 is equal to 0. So x minus 60 plus 20 equal to 0, or x now becomes equal to 40. Okay, so therefore length of the rectangle is equal to 40 units and the breadth of the rectangle, which we had assumed as equal to y, is equal to 30 units. Hope the question is clear. If you have a math question that you'd like me to cover, drop it in the comments and I'll be happy to do a video just for you. Also, if you like my video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.